Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to your class of biology. Our today's lesson is about the five kingdoms. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to learn the general characteristics of the five kingdoms, the organisms included in each kingdom. Five kingdom classification system. As we have started it before, that it was proposed by Robert Whittaker. Further, it was modified by Margulis and Schwartz. It is a classification system based on modes of nutrition, cellular organization, and on these basis, all the organisms are classified into five kingdoms. So, these kingdoms, these organisms which are in a separate kingdom, they share their properties, they share their characteristics. The five kingdoms, let's study them. Number one, Kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera is the most primitive kingdom as it includes prokaryotic organisms. Prokaryotic organisms means the organisms whose cells do not have well membraned organelles. The In these organisms, the cells are having the chromatin material which is dispersed in the cytoplasm. There are no mitochondria present, no food vacuole present, no well membrane defined nucleus. So, only the prokaryotic organisms are present in this single kingdom, Kingdom Monera. None of the other kingdom contains prokaryotic organisms. So, we come to know that only Kingdom Monera contains the prokaryotes. All remaining four kingdoms, they have eukaryotic organisms included in them. Apart from this, the Kingdom Monera includes unicellular organisms, means the organisms are formed of a single cell. They may form clusters, chains, or colonies. As we can see in the figure, these are the different types of bacteria. Some are round bacteria, rod-shaped bacteria, some are living alone, and some form chains or colonies. These organisms are heterotrophic, means they cannot prepare their own food. Instead, they depend on autotrophs or other organisms to get food, to get their nourishment. However, some of these organisms may perform photosynthesis. Example is blue-green algae. So the examples of organisms included in Kingdom Monera are the bacteria and cyanobacteria. Second kingdom which we are going to study is Kingdom Protista. It includes the eukaryotic unicellular organisms. The organisms included in it may be unicellular, made of a single cell, or simple multicellular organisms, but they all are eukaryotic as they contain proper membrane bounded organelles like the food vacuoles, like the ribosomes, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum. So, all the well defined membrane bound organelles are present in the eukaryotic organisms. The protists are the organisms which come under the kingdom Protista. So the protists are divided into three main types. Number one, algae. Number two, protozoans. Number three, fungi-like. The algae, they resemble plants in some ways, as they resemble plants because they have the cell walls and chlorophyll is present in them. Protozoans, they resemble the animals, and fungi-like protists are also present. These include the amoeba, paramecium, and euglena. Third kingdom is Kingdom Fungi. It includes the eukaryotic organisms. They are multicellular, having more than one cells. These are heterotrophic organisms, means they obtain their food by different modes through other organisms, but they cannot make their own food like plants. They have an absorptive mode of nutrition, means they get their food by absorption, by absorbing. They are mostly decomposers. They decompose the dead material. Example, the most common example is mushroom. Kingdom Plantae. As we all know about it, that kingdom Plantae includes the autotrophic organisms, means they can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. They are eukaryotic multicellular organisms. Eukaryotic means they have membrane bound organelles, multicellular, that they are formed of more than one cells. It includes the flowering plants, mosses, ferns. These are the various examples. Kingdom Animalia. They are eukaryotic multicellular organisms. They are consumers as they get their food from autotrophs, means the plants, and they ingest food and they digest it. They lack a cell wall. Here is the overview of the five kingdoms. The distinguishing characters of the five kingdoms are cell type, nuclear envelope, cell wall, mode of nutrition, and multicellularity. Kingdom Monera. This is the only kingdom whose cell type is prokaryotic. As you can see in the table, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia, they all have a cell type of eukaryotic. Only kingdom Monera is prokaryotic. When we see the cell wall, kingdom Monera has cell wall which is made of non-cellulose, and in Protista some forms have a cell wall. In fungi the cell wall is formed of chitin. In Animalia kingdom the organisms have no cell wall, whereas in Plantae cell wall is present and it is made of cellulose and polysaccharides. When we talk about mode of nutrition, the monerans, they are autotrophs or heterotrophs. The protists are photosynthetic or heterotroph. The fungi are absorptive heterotrophs. Plantae are the photosynthetic, they are the autotrophs. And kingdom Animalia includes ingestive heterotrophs. Multicellularity. In this category, some forms of protists, they have multicellular organisms, but mostly they are unicellular. Fungi is multicellular, Plantae and Animalia, they are also multicellular. Now it's your time for homework. You have to describe the general characteristics of the five kingdoms and distinguish among the five kingdoms of life on the basis of their cell type, nuclear envelope, cell wall, mode of nutrition, and multicellularity in the tabulated form as I have described you. Along with it, you should mention their examples as well. Best of luck, class.